welcome to another lawnfawn video. Today we are introducing our outside-in stitch star stackables and our stitch star frames. And so here we have the outside-in stitch star stackables, and what's so great about these is they create a window opening with a stitch detail and also a star with a stitch detail. And so you can see that you can use them in both ways, and we have 3 different sizes as well. Now to go along with these, we have some stitch star frames. And so these frames create 2 different frames, but you can also use the star from the inside as well. And it's got all those little tiny stars so that you can cut those pieces for shaker bits. So one of the ways I love to use this die is to create shakers. So I've actually die cut some foam here, which is going to be the foam for my shaker. And then what I can do is take one of my outside in stitch star stackables and I can layer it there with my frames. So here's a way to use it just flat for a really pretty detail. If you take your fun foam and put that between your frame and the base and also add some acetate on there, you can create a custom shaped shaker, which is really cool. You can also take those frames and layer them into the cut opening from the outside in stitch star stackables, which I really like too. Next up, I'm going to be recreating a gorgeous card by our new design team member, Kay Miller. So thank you so much for this, Kay. And here you'll see I'm taking my outside-in stitch star stackables onto a piece of peacock cardstock that's a standard size 5.5 by 4.25, and I'm going to hold those in place with some low-tack tape, run it through my die cut machine, and I'm going to create some really cool stitched star openings onto my card base. Next up, I'm going to take my really rainbow 6x6 pad, which might be my favorite 6x6 pad ever. I love it so much. It's so happy. And I'm going to cut out this really colorful striped paper, and I'm cutting that down to the same size as my panel. And I'm going to layer those 2 together so that that rainbow peeks out through those stitch star openings. Then I'm going to cut some of those stitch star frames out of some white cardstock. I'm adding some glue there, and then I'm just going to lay that right into that opening, like I was showing you before how you can layer the frame right into the stitch star opening for just some really, really pretty detail. So I'm doing the same thing with that top star too, and I think it's really cool, and I really love the white and then the turquoise and then those bright rainbow stripes. I'm going to trim off any excess on this card. And then I've gone ahead and die cut some of the smallest stitch stars from some sunflower cardstock, and I'm going to add that on there with some foam tape. Now before I move on to my other stars, I have actually cut my cloudy hillside pop-up add-on out of some white cardstock, and I'm going to use that for some cute clouds on the bottom of this card. So I'm going to lay that on there, kind of see where the perfect placement would be, and then I'll just trim off any excess. It was at this point where I thought, you know what, I think this would be cuter with some foam tape. So I just peeled it off, added some foam tape on there, and then layered it on top, and I really like that dimension there. I've die cut our congratulations border also out of some peacock cardstock, and I'm adding some little dots of glue using my glue tube, and then I'm going to layer that over that cloudy border there, and it's going to be a really cute, kind of delicate way to create my sentiment. Next, I'm going to add the tiny little dot for the eye, and then I will trim off any excess on either side just to kind of give the card some nice clean edges. Then I've gone ahead and stamped and colored a unicorn from the stamp set Critters Ever After, and that unicorn is so cute. And so I'll add some foam adhesive to the back of that unicorn and then add him there into my clouds, which I think is just really, really cute. Next up, we're going to add some more of those yellow stars. So I'm adding 1 star on with foam tape, but then the other star, I'm going to add it to the card first and then trim off an edge. I wanted it hanging off the edge like the kind of big rainbow stars are. So I did that first, and then I took it off and then added some foam tape because I thought it would be hard to cut it off with the foam tape on there. Now next, to kind of add the final details for this card, I've used the little shaker piece that's included in the star frames, and I cut out a bunch of those stars out of white cardstock. But instead of using them as the inside of a shaker part, we're actually going to be adding these tiny stars to the card. So you'll see there I'm adding a little drop of glue with the glue tube and then layering these stars on. And this was kind of a labor of love here, but there was something kind of relaxing about it too. So I just kept adding those tiny little stars, all kind of filling in that gap there, and I think it makes the card just look really, really magical. I just love that Kay had this idea to have this kind of smattering of stars all over the place. This card just makes me smile. So once I've finished adding all of those teeny tiny little stars, I'm going to create a standard size card base at 5.5 by 4.25. Then I'll add some adhesive to that card base, and then I can add my card front panel to it. And then my card is all done, and oh my goodness, I had so much fun making this, and this card really just makes me smile. Next up, we have some gorgeous star inspiration from our design team. And first up, we have an amazing card by Elena using Out of This World and Beam Me Up, and the stars are just perfect for that. Then we have a really fun card by Kristen where she's got the Beam Me Up aliens abducting the cow from Hey There, which is just so much fun. And then here's that beautiful card by Kay that inspired me to make my card today. Then we have two amazing cards by Lynette using the stars and Beam Me Up. I love how they're peeking out from behind the opening here. And then I love how she connected her 3 stars on this card. I just think it's just so much fun and so beautiful. Then here we have a gorgeous card by Lizzie, and I love how she cut that starry backdrop from the really rainbow paper. It's just so much fun. And then here's a great layout by Melissa. I love that these stars are the perfect size for scrapbook layouts too. And then Audrey created this gorgeous shaker card. I love that gold with the rainbow coming out. Oh my goodness. So I cannot wait to see what you guys do with these star stackables. So make sure to share it with us. Thank you so much for watching today, and have an absolutely amazing day. Bye.